Okay, I wanted to continue a little bit on reincarnations because that's an excellent book to have. Very hard to understand if you don't know, have some background, because you cannot take everything literally. It's Kabbalistic stuff, um, but it can give you some understanding of some ideas. Um, but like I said, reincarnation is so important that we need to speak to about it all the time. I said nothing makes sense without reincarnation. This is what I said last time, and I think it's so true. First of all, we have to understand that there is good in every evil, right? We know that darkness is only an illusion. Yes, it's painful. It doesn't seem like an illusion because we have to feel it. Our body has to feel it. We have to go through it in this world, but every darkness hides light, and every one of our suffering, any pain that we have in our life, hides some light, and we have to learn to break through and keep the hope and have the strength, enough energy to go through this darkness to the end of the tunnel. There is no day without a night in between. It is the way of the world. Birth comes with the price of tremendous pain and almost death. In the past, most women died after birth, by giving birth. So we know life, and there's the process of this world. When you understand that, it becomes much easier to deal with pain, suffering, and harsh things in this world. And we have to, we have to learn how to live it. Now, there's different concept that needs to be speaking about. Today, we know we're at the end of time, and all the souls are intermingled, and we have to understand that a person's soul can be split into few other people, and we have to understand that we are here trying to, each one has to try to find the root of his soul, where he is connected from, who are the people he connects to, because all those are indication to what his mission is, and what's the roots, what the soul, his soul is, and who he was in the past. But we don't have enough mikubalim to help us, with that so much. But sometimes we have hints. If you ask God to help you and your rabbi to help you, then maybe you might be lucky to find out what soul you were in the past life and what you still need to fix. Though we know that everything we need to fix, because God tells you by what He brings into your life. So one other thing I wanted to say, it speaks about homosexuality, and there's an unbalance today in the world of what's male, not just an unbalance, a misunderstanding of what's male role and female role. Everything is mixed up. Judaism is here to help people understand, yes, I can be male with female qualities and female with male qualities. It doesn't mean that I am a male or female. But they are, according to Kabbalah, according to Sefer Gigulim, the book of reincarnations, that sometimes female souls go into a male body and a male soul in a female body. And that's to rectify something from the past also. It doesn't mean that one should change one's body. According to Judaism, one cannot do that. One should not, but one should embrace his feminine part and masculine part. Now, we have to understand that we all have male and female part in us, but sometimes it's actually the soul itself. We know Yosef HaTzadik had a female soul. I don't remember all the examples, but there were few who had female souls, and that's why they say they, looked in the mirror, make themselves more beautiful. Instead of fighting it, sometimes you just embrace it and you take that quality and you learn to use it at your advantage. And you can still call yourself man or call yourself woman and use those qualities, very feminine or very masculine qualities, and embrace them. Now, it's not always easy. Sometimes I cannot say the percentage. I think my only, I would say that what I just said, that there's a female soul in the male body, a male soul in the female body, is a minority, but I don't have, proof to that. But it's an important concept to know about why today there's so many problems, why some people can't find someone to marry, or find themselves very masculine or feminine, or why they find themselves not even sometimes not being able to have children. All types of things. All this is connected to reincarnation, and it's not easy. Now, we have to also understand that sometimes we can be helped if one prays very strongly. One can have souls attached. Usually, that's people who are really, really holy. But who knows? We don't know how holy we are, and sometimes you need to attach yourself to. You have the ability to attach yourself to higher soul that come help you. All of a sudden you have tremendous energy, and everything flows, and you know how to do everything. Sometimes that's because of that. Now, something interesting. Rabbi Chaim Vital, in his book, it was the Son of the Arizal, he says he had the soul of Cain. Which also was the soul of Esav, and he described why he, was running after his body desires when he was younger, and the greater the soul, the greater. I believe it was here. Forgot where it is, but it's somewhere in there. Is that the greater the soul, the greater the Yetzer Hara. And that's why we cannot never judge someone who has a tremendous big soul. Will have a tremendous desire in Yetzer Hara. We see all the great sages, all their stories, the stories of some of the stories are stories about them running after very low level stuff, like running after prostitute, or doing some dirty things, or negative thoughts, or stealing, or whatever it is. And that has to do with the fact that they have a tremendous soul. So sometimes we see someone doing something terribly bad, but has nothing to do with the fact that he's bad. It has to do that he has a great soul. All the bad, so quote unquote bad people in the Torah, individuals, had tremendous soul. Esav had the soul of Cain. Yisro had the soul of Cain also, and got elevated. You had David had the soul of Cain. You had everybody calls Cain the murderer, the bad guy, but really he had the tremendous greater soul. And the Moshiach is going to come from Cain. Said Cain is going to be Kohen Gadol, right? And Ishmael did Teshuvah, and so we have so many. That's just a few short examples, but there's so many great people who really fall into sin, but that's because of the greatness of their soul. They fail. So when we look at people, what do we need to do? We need to understand everybody is our family. We're all brothers and sisters, and everybody fails. And you don't know his challenge. You don't have his soul. You deal with your crap, and he deals with his crap. And you have to love the person with his crap and help him go out of his crap. The same way you love yourself with your own crap, love the other also with his own crap. That's really the way to go about it. And we need to have the ideas of reincarnation in mind. Oh, you see that homosexual, you see that person that is struggling with this, or that person is struggling with that, run, porn, or running after, girls, or doing whatever inappropriate stuff. We all have our tikkun. We all have to fix ourselves. And we all have our challenges, and we don't remember who we were in the past. The more we learn of who we were in the past, or the more we learn about ourselves, the more we can reconnect to who we were in the past and understand, okay, this is my challenge. Embrace your challenge. Don't fight it. Embrace your challenge and learn to correct it, to redirect it, to love it, to... Again, Yitzhak was trying to love Esav. He loved Esav because he believed he had the potential. At the end, he got tricked. He was not able to do it. But that's what we have to do ourselves. We are Esav. We are Ishmael. We are... the Yetzer Hara is in us. Different personalities. Every bad personalities in the Torah is really a tremendous... It's a tool. It's the way our evil inclination is trying to get us. So we're challenged all the time. So we need to know how to, deal with ourselves, punish ourselves, reward ourselves, love ourselves. And by doing that, little by little, we're going to be able to, become a better person and have our love ourselves. I think really this is the biggest problem today. We don't love ourselves enough. We feel we're all, dirty and all bad. Now also I wanted to mention one more thing. I don't remember if I mentioned last time, but we all have, every Jew, non-Jew has to fulfill the 7 commandments. Every Jew has to fulfill the 613 commandments. And sometimes we do some commandments and we have to do all of them. So we have to come back in this world until we do all of them. So now, sometimes a person is not going to know, let's say he didn't grow up religious, and now he's 60 years old, he learns all about Judaism, but he starts just about learning about Shabbat, or just about learning about Tefillin, and you say, oh, well, his whole life was for nothing, and really no, because he just needed to be reincarnated just to do that mitzvah, or just to do that mitzvah, and that's what we have to do when we see someone who is not religious, who is not spiritual, who is not that. We don't know what is left of them to do. Some people are here just to finish having to work just on kivud avim, respecting the parents. Some people are just here to do 5 commandments, some 100. Some people are here to finish learning all of Torah. So again, some people, the problem is that we judge and we think, oh, look what he's doing. He has a whole different life challenge mission, completely different than you, and you don't know what he needs to do. He maybe needs to do one thing. He's much more perfect than you. Sometimes, oh, now you look like the perfect one. But because you know how much you didn't do yet, he did already everything. Therefore, you just need to finish with one thing. That's why we say when Moshiach is going to come, when go into the world to come, spiritual world, everything is going to be upside down, because we're going to realize that what I've seen was just the tip of the iceberg. It was so much different. What looked bad really is really good, and what looks good was really bad. We don't know. We can't judge, and therefore we have to learn the way to put the glasses of reincarnation to understand that all this is part of a system that God put in place for everything to equalize, if I can say like that, to balance out, and all be successful at the end to fulfill our mission. So let's remember that and try to do the best to fulfill our mission. Baruch Adonai L'olam, amen, v'amen.